Alright, so the general gist of going through Krugs depends on where you are when you finish the red buff. You want to aim to finish red buff somewhere around this circle right here if possible. Reason being, it's a very easy angle to throw a spear onto the Krugs. If you need to throw a spear onto the Krugs, then auto the red buff one last time, that's fine, whatever you need to do. Your goal is to have a good angle on the Krugs. So if you're above, I would say this crack in the wall right here, you're just going to throw a spear at the top half of the camp and you'll hit the big Krug. The further down you are like this, the tighter that angle becomes. You'll have to be careful. Once you're really close to this crack, the angle is really, really tight to hit it above, and it's very easy to miss. This one I think you'll actually miss. Yeah, so you can see it's actually really, really easy to miss. So I don't personally recommend even throwing the spear if you end the red buff here. Walk down a little bit, get to the bottom half of the wall, and then just throw it under the camp to hit it from that side. That's my personal recommendation. You obviously can with practice if you get the angle right every single time next to this crack, you can get it, but it's inconsistent, so I don't usually bother. What you want to do though, after you start the Krug camp, you want to do a rotation with your trap at the beginning of the wall and smiting the big Krug. When you do all of that, the big Krug should die at the end of your first rotation, or at the beginning of your second rotation, however you want to consider it. That's important because we don't want to damage this Krug too much with with single target abilities. We want to avoid damaging this one with single target abilities. Reason being, we want this one to die to an unempowered W at the end of the Krug camp. If it does that, we get a free empowered W for no cost. So that's your general goal with a Krug camp, is you focus on the one on the big Krug and then what spawns from the big Krug. This one just dies to overtime damage, basically. So as soon as the medium Krug spawn from this one, you throw a spear at them, you do another rotation, and your first unempowered W, you want it to kill this medium Krug. If you have to auto attack it, do that, that's fine, but you want your first unempowered W to kill this Krug. That's your primary goal. Let me actually get red buff again while I'm thinking about it so I can show you. Okay, now that I have red buff again, I can come down here and show you what I mean. Um, at the end of the camp as well, what you want to try and do is you want to try and be finishing off the little Krug somewhere up here. If you can do a QW animation cancel at the end of the Krugs, you can save yourself a lot of time. I'll show you what I mean in a second though. Let me do this Krug camp first. So W, transform, do a smite combo. And now the big Krug's already dead. Auto this while they're spawning. Now it's important that we Q the one that we have the hunt on, auto this one to make sure the unempowered W kills it. And now the goal is to kill both medium Krugs roughly at the same time. I didn't get it there, and then I'll just range auto these to death. That's kind of the general gist for that clear. Obviously, it'll change a little bit depending on if you make any mechanical mistakes like I did there, or if there's any other alternate methods that you want to do. Sometimes you might mess something up. Sometimes you might have a bad angle in your first spear. Whatever the case may be. I'll try and do one more example just to show you. Throw the spear, put the W down, do a rotation with smite, come over here, finish the camp off with that, auto this while it's spawning, spear a different one. See there I accidentally queued the one that I didn't have a hunt on, so this is going to take me a couple extra seconds. But I can show you what I meant about the little Krugs earlier. So now that I'm doing the little Krugs, I can finish it off with a QW animation cancel, and I already have my W back up for when I get to Raptors and can throw a spear on Raptors. So that's the general gist of it. Obviously I made some mistakes in this video, but this is just a quick video that I hope can help you. If you have any questions, message me on Discord though, and let me know.